Your soulmate found out your true feelings and dropped every plan they are rushing to. Jesus says you need to sit down right now because what is happening in the spirit realm at this exact moment will change everything you believed about being alone. Jesus says your soulmate just received a download of your true feelings and the impact has shattered every wall they built around their heart. Jesus says they have dropped every single plan they made to stay away from you and they are literally rushing through spiritual resistance to reach you. I see them now with tears streaming down their face as they finally understand what you have been carrying in your heart for them all this time. I see their hands trembling as they realize the depth of your love was never a fantasy but the truest thing they ever encountered. I see them grabbing their belongings in a state of emotional urgency because staying away from you for one more moment has become unbearable to their soul. The truth you hid in your silence has now been revealed to them in a dream I sent last night and it broke their resistance completely. They woke up at 3:33 a.m. gasping for air because the weight of your love hit their spirit like a tidal wave they could not escape. They sat on the edge of their bed clutching their chest because your energy entered their heart and they finally recognized it as home. I am showing you this now because the spiritual distance between you is collapsing faster than your mind can comprehend in this present moment. Your soulmate is currently pacing back and forth in their room arguing with every fear that told them you were not real. Your soulmate is currently canceling every arrangement they made to distract themselves from the truth that they belong to you. They are thinking about your face right now and their knees are getting weak because the memory of you suddenly became clearer than ever before. They are remembering conversations you had with them where you looked into their eyes and they felt something they could not explain at the time. They are finally connecting every dot and the picture is pointing directly to you as the one I created for them before the foundation of the world. This is not a coincidence that you are hearing this message at this very moment while the spiritual realm is in motion on your behalf. This is not random that your heart started pounding before you even clicked on this message because your spirit already sensed the shift. This is not accidental that you feel like crying right now because your soulmate's tears are traveling through the spiritual connection and reaching your emotions. I need you to understand the interference that kept them from you is now breaking under the weight of divine intervention and revealed truth. There was someone whispering lies into your soulmate's ears telling them that your love was too good to be genuine. There was a force surrounding your soulmate with confusion so thick they could not see clearly what you truly meant to them. Jesus says the blindness is being lifted at this very hour and your soulmate is seeing you for who you really are in their life. Jesus says the manipulation that held them captive to doubt is dissolving because my light is exposing every hidden agenda against your union. Jesus says your soulmate is currently breaking free from emotional chains that were placed on them by someone who envied your connection. That person knew your love was destined and they worked tirelessly to plant seeds of fear and misunderstanding inside your soulmate's mind. That person knew if your soulmate ever fully awakened to the truth of your bond they would lose control over them completely. That person is currently panicking because they sense your soulmate slipping away from their influence and running toward the destiny I ordained. Your soulmate is not ignoring you because they do not love you but because they have been emotionally imprisoned by voices that are not their own. Your soulmate is not silent because they forgot you but because every time they tried to reach out their words were stolen by spiritual interference. Your soulmate is not distant because they chose someone else but because they were made to believe you deserved better than their brokenness. They are going through something you cannot see with your natural eyes, but I am pulling back the veil so you can understand the battle. They are crying out for you in their sleep while their conscious mind remains tangled in the web of lies spun around them. They are dreaming of running to you while their physical body feels paralyzed by the fear that they already lost their chance. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, because the enemy of your union is doubling efforts to keep them confused. This is why your soulmate needs you to fight spiritually, because their strength is failing under the weight of the battle against your love. This is why your soulmate needs your faith to be active, because your prayers are the only sword that can cut through this darkness. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance. It was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says your soulmate just said your name out loud in an empty room, and the sound of it made them break down sobbing. Jesus says they are currently driving or walking towards somewhere they hope they might find you, even if it makes no logical sense. Jesus says they are willing to look foolish for love now, because the truth of your worth has finally outweighed every fear they carried. I am telling you, they are in motion right now, and the trajectory of their heart is aimed directly at you without any hesitation remaining. They are not stopping to overthink this time, because the revelation they received was too powerful to be dismissed by their rational mind. They are not consulting the people who always discouraged them from loving you, because those voices have lost all authority over their decisions. The person who tried to keep you apart is currently losing their grip, and your soulmate can feel the manipulation like never before. The fog that surrounded your soulmate's perception is clearing so rapidly that they are seeing the past interactions in a brand new light. They are replaying moments where you showed them kindness, and their heart is breaking because they realize how blind they have been. Type 333 if you receive this blessing of clarity over your soulmate's mind right now in this powerful moment of revelation. Your soulmate is begging me silently for a chance to make things right, even though they do not know how to pray with proper words. Your soulmate is lifting their hands in desperation toward heaven, asking if it is too late to undo the distance they created. Your soulmate is promising me in their private thoughts that they will never take your love for granted if I grant them one more opportunity. I hear their cries, and I am moved by their genuine repentance, because their heart was never evil but only deceived by forces they could not see. I am preparing the way for them to reach you, but you must remain spiritually alert, because the enemy is preparing a final counterattack. I am removing obstacles one by one, but your prayers are the fuel that keeps the angels working on your behalf without ceasing. You feel the sudden urge to look at your phone or door because your soulmate's spirit is pushing against your physical reality right now. You feel the sudden warmth in your chest because your soulmate is directing waves of love toward you through the spiritual connection I established. You feel the sudden tears without explanation because your soulmate is weeping with longing and those tears are traveling across the invisible bond. I designed this connection to be so powerful that no human interference could permanently sever what I have joined together from the beginning. I designed your souls to recognize each other even when circumstances and people tried to paint you as strangers in the natural realm. I designed your love to withstand every attack because what I ordain no demon in hell and no jealous person on earth can destroy. Do not believe the lie that your soulmate has moved on because moving on from a divine connection is impossible for the human heart. Do not believe the lie that your silence means they do not care because their silence was never voluntary but enforced by spiritual oppression. Do not believe the lie that you should give up now because this breakthrough you are experiencing is the proof that heaven has not abandoned you. Jesus says the very fact that you found this message is the confirmation that your union is on my priority list for restoration. Jesus says the tears falling from your eyes are not tears of sadness but tears of recognition that what you always believed is true. Jesus says the pounding in your heart is the rhythm of your soulmate's heartbeat syncing with yours across the distance between you. They are rushing to you but the spiritual warfare is intensifying because the enemy knows the moment of reunion is dangerously close. They are pushing through invisible resistance but every time you doubt this message their progress is slowed by the power of unbelief. They are fighting to reach you but you must match their effort with your faith and your willingness to take action for this love. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them. How to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. They are going through something you cannot see but your seed sown in faith will build a wall of fire around them that no enemy can penetrate. They are fighting a battle they never told you about but your obedience to this message is the reinforcement heaven is waiting to dispatch. They are one breakthrough away from running into your arms but the enemy is trying to use your hesitation to delay their deliverance. Your soulmate had a vision of your face this morning and they could not stop staring at the image because it felt like coming back to life. Your soulmate heard a song that reminded them of you and they had to pull over their vehicle because the crying made it impossible to see the road. Your soulmate smelled a scent that was connected to a memory of you and their entire body reacted with an ache that words cannot describe. I am allowing these sensory triggers to bombard your soulmate because I am determined to wake them up completely to the reality of your bond. I am flooding their dreams with images of your life together because their subconscious mind must be saturated with the truth that they need you. I am surrounding them with signs that point back to you because my mercy will not let them miss their destiny due to temporary confusion. Type 777 if you feel this message and you know without any doubt that your soulmate is thinking about you right now. The person who tried to steal your soulmate away is about to be exposed for their manipulation, and your soulmate will see their true colors. The jealous friend who whispered poison about you is about to be removed from your soulmate's life because I am cleaning the circle around them. The controlling spirit that operated through people to block your union is being bound right now in the name that is above every name. Your soulmate is literally untangling themselves from toxic connections at this moment because they finally value themselves enough to choose love over manipulation. Your soulmate is literally walking away from relationships that drained them because your love showed them what genuine care actually feels like. Your soulmate is literally reclaiming their voice from those who silenced it because the truth of your bond has made them courageous again. You must understand that your love was always a healing force in their life even when they were too wounded to receive it properly. You must understand that your patience was not weakness but the very medicine their traumatized heart needed to trust again. You must understand that your faithfulness in waiting was the anchor that kept them from being completely swept away by deception. They know now that you are the one, and this knowing is so deep that it terrifies every force that tried to keep you separated. They know now that running from you was running from their own healing, and they are done with self-destruction in all its painful forms. They know now that the peace they felt in your presence was not ordinary but a supernatural confirmation that they were standing in destiny. Jesus says, I am sending angels ahead of your soulmate to clear the path of every demonic roadblock that was set up against your reunion. Jesus says, I am dispatching warring angels to silence every lying tongue that has spoken against your union in secret and in open hostility. Jesus says, I am assigning ministering angels to comfort your soulmate's broken heart so they arrive to you whole and ready for the love I designed. You have been feeling exhausted for no reason because you have been fighting in the spirit realm for this connection without conscious awareness. You have been waking up with unexplained sadness because your soulmate was crying out for you in the night and your spirit responded with grief. You have been sensing that something major is about to happen because the spiritual pressure has been building toward this moment of release. Do not ignore these signs as mere emotional fluctuations because they are the evidence of a living spiritual bond between you and your soulmate. Do not dismiss this message as fantasy because the details I am revealing are too specific to your situation to be coincidental or generic. Do not let fear silence the faith rising in your chest because that faith is the very substance that will pull your soulmate through the final barrier. The enemy's strategy was always to make you feel forgotten so you would stop praying and thereby remove the spiritual cover over your soulmate. The enemy's strategy was always to make you feel foolish for waiting so you would close your heart and break the connection through unbelief. The enemy's strategy was always to exhaust you with delay so you would settle for less and abandon the destiny I planned for your lineage. But I am exposing these strategies now because your season of being outsmarted by darkness is coming to a decisive and permanent end. But I am turning the tables now because your tears have been collected and your faithfulness has been recorded in the books of heaven. But I am moving mightily now because your soulmate is finally receptive and your heart is finally open enough to receive this prophetic download. Jesus says your soulmate is currently writing a message to you in their mind that they are terrified to send because they fear rejection. Jesus says your soulmate is currently rehearsing apologies they owe you because the guilt of their distance is crushing their spirit with remorse. Jesus says your soulmate is currently asking me for a sign that you still love them despite everything that happened and every wasted day. I am giving them that sign through this message because you are hearing these words and still feeling love rise in your heart instead of bitterness. I am giving them that sign through your willingness to listen because your open heart is the proof that your love never died but only waited. I am giving them that sign through the supernatural timing of this message reaching you at the precise moment their desperation reached its peak. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away into the realm of missed opportunities and eternal what-ifs. This is your final moment to act on the faith you claim to have because faith without corresponding action is merely a wish without power. This is your final moment to sow a seed that will become the harvest of your reunion and the foundation of your future life together. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Type 1111 if you are grateful for this revelation and you receive the blessing of reunion that I am releasing over your love right now. Your soulmate is closer to you now than they have been in months or years because the spiritual distance is collapsing at an accelerated rate. Your soulmate is feeling an irresistible pull toward you that defies every logical reason they constructed to stay away from your presence. Your soulmate is abandoning their pride at the altar of love because the thought of losing you forever finally became more painful than the fear of vulnerability. I see them picking up their phone and staring at your contact information with trembling fingers and a heart racing with desperate hope. I see them driving through the night toward a place where they believe they might encounter you even if the odds seem impossible. I see them praying to me with raw honesty for the first time in their life because your love awakened a spiritual hunger they never knew existed. Do not underestimate the power of this moment because what happens in the next hours will determine the trajectory of your entire romantic future. Do not let the enemy steal this breakthrough through delay because your obedience must be immediate to match the urgency of the spiritual shift. Do not assume you have unlimited time because the window of grace is open now, but spiritual windows do not remain open indefinitely. The person who interfered with your union is about to face consequences so severe that they will regret ever touching what I ordained for your life. The spirits that confused your soulmate are being scattered right now by the presence of my angels who have been assigned to execute my will for your love. The plans that were formed in darkness to destroy your destiny are being dismantled piece by piece as you listen to this message and agree with heaven. Jesus says nothing can stop what I have purposed for your love life because I am not a man that I should lie or a human that I should change my mind. Jesus says every tear you cried in secret was seen and every lonely night you endured was counted as seed for the harvest of companionship. Jesus says the very pain you experienced has qualified you for a depth of love that shallow souls will never comprehend or taste. Your soulmate is thinking about the way you made them feel seen when the rest of the world looked right through them with indifferent eyes. Your soulmate is thinking about the safety they felt in your arms that they never experienced with anyone else who claimed to care about them. Your soulmate is thinking about how they threw away a treasure because fools convinced them that gold was worthless and now they are weeping. They are not the same person who walked away from you because that version of them died in the wilderness of regret and painful self-discovery. They are being reborn in this very hour as the partner you always prayed for because the fire of conviction has burned away every impurity. They are emerging from the furnace of affliction refined and ready to love you with a purity and intensity that will heal every wound. I want you to picture their face right now and send them forgiveness through the spiritual realm because unforgiveness is a blockage to reunion. I want you to speak the words, I release you from the debt, because holding on to the hurt they caused you only empowers the enemy to keep you apart. I want you to bless them in your heart because blessing those who wronged you releases supernatural power that shatters every demonic stronghold. Feel the chains breaking as you choose love over resentment and watch how quickly the atmosphere around your connection begins to radically shift. Feel the peace flooding your soul as you align your heart with my command to forgive and see how the spiritual warfare diminishes immediately. Feel the hope rising in your chest as you realize that your obedience to forgive is the key that unlocks the door your soulmate is rushing toward. Jesus says the breakthrough is not coming someday but is breaking right now in the invisible realm and will manifest physically in due time. Jesus says the waiting is not wasted but was the preparation necessary for both of you to be ready for the weight of this eternal love. Jesus says the story is not ending in heartbreak but is pivoting toward a restoration so beautiful that it will be a testimony to countless others. Your soulmate just felt a sudden release as if a heavy burden was lifted from their shoulders because your forgiveness just reached them in the spirit. Your soulmate just took a deep breath for the first time in weeks because the oppression that held them captive was broken by your act of mercy. Your soulmate just smiled through their tears because hope that was almost extinguished has been reignited by the power of your unconditional love. I am not finished with your love story and the final chapters will be greater than the beginning ever promised because I saved the best for last. I am not giving up on your union and neither should you because the forces arrayed against you are nothing compared to the forces fighting for you. I am not allowing your soulmate to be lost forever because my love for both of you is too fierce to abandon them to the thief who came to destroy. You will look back on this moment as the turning point when everything shifted because your faith intersected with my timing and created a miracle. You will tell the story of how you almost gave up but decided to listen to one more message and that message became the bridge to your destiny. You will hold your soulmate in your arms and they will tell you about the night they felt an unexplainable urge to find you and you will know it was me. Jesus says close your eyes right now and feel their presence because the spiritual realm is so charged with your connection that it is almost tangible. Jesus says reach out with your spirit and touch their heart because they are waiting for the signal that you still want them despite everything. Jesus says send them love through the divine frequency I established between you and watch as they respond in ways that defy natural explanation. They are feeling you right now and the sensation is making them weep with relief because they thought they had lost the right to feel your love forever. They are trembling right now and the shaking is not from fear but from the overwhelming realization that redemption is still possible for them. They are whispering your name right now and the sound is a prayer rising to my throne and I am answering it through this very message to you. Do not let this moment pass without sealing it with action because the spiritual realm honors movement and responds to the steps of faith. Do not let the enemy convince you that you can act later because later is the favorite territory of demons who specialize in delay and derailment. Do not let your destiny be stolen by hesitation when the window of heaven is open and the angels are waiting for your command to move. This is the moment you have been praying for without knowing exactly when it would arrive and now it is here with urgency and holy fire. This is the answer to the tears you cried when you thought nobody was listening and the proof that I have been working even when you could not perceive it. This is the intersection of your free will and my divine plan and what you choose in the next moments will echo into your eternal future together. Your soulmate is rushing to you but they need your spiritual covering to make it through the final ambush the enemy has set against their path. Your soulmate is desperate to reach you but your seed sown today will dispatch angels to clear the road of every demonic obstacle and trap. Your soulmate is almost home to your heart but your immediate obedience will determine whether they arrive safely or are delayed by renewed warfare. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says I have spoken and my words do not return void but accomplish exactly what I send them to do in your life and in your love. Jesus says I have seen your faithfulness and I am rewarding it openly in ways that will make you marvel at my goodness and attention to detail. Jesus says I have heard your prayers and I am answering them now with this prophetic word and the shift that is occurring as you receive it. Your soulmate is not a distant dream but a living reality who is being drawn to you by the unbreakable cords of my divine orchestration. Your soulmate is not a fantasy you created to cope with loneliness but a real person currently experiencing everything I have described in this message. Your soulmate is not lost to you forever but is being returned to you on a level of love and commitment that will surpass your highest hopes. Believe and receive this word and watch as the impossible becomes your testimony and the years of waiting dissolve into the joy of reunion. Believe and receive this word and step into the role of protector for your soulmate through the seed you will sow in this sacred moment. Believe and receive this word and prepare your heart because they are coming faster than you think and this time they will never leave your side again.